Brett's second quality question is, what is the most important task I can do, emphasis on the do, I can do right now? So prioritize and take that action. Make sense? Yep. Dejected dog. Do we all know who Droopy is in Australia? Yeah?
Hello, folks. I'm at World Internet Summit, and I'm really, really happy.
I was definitely used to be a dejected dog once. What does a dejected dog do? Well, he likes to think about what he's done. He likes to reflect and review, because he believes he can learn from it. And certainly reviewing and feedback is an important part of the internet process. But the dejected dog seems to focus on negatives all the time. Does this sound familiar to any of them? Give me a... Give me a... So for some strange reason, when I'm in this state and I feel dejected and low, for some reason, I really just don't feel like doing anything at all. Does that sound familiar to anyone? So the man went back to Brett and Tom and said, Brett and Tom, what can I learn from the dog? And they said this, that feedback and review is essential. How many of you have gone blindly down a path and just forgotten to review whether it was moving you towards your goal? And I'll say yes. But you must focus on the positives first. Whenever you review whatever you've done, you've got to focus on the positives first. Say, what was good about what I did? Even if you thought it was complete and utter failure, the first thing you must do is to say, what was great about what I just did? Because there will be something. And then you can then see what could be improved and choose one thing. Because if we just overwhelm ourselves with loads of different negatives, again, we're going to go into dejection and we're not going to take action. Does that make sense? There may be a message in that negative thought. There may be a message that you need to learn in that negative thought. And we call it feather brick truck. Has anyone ever heard of the feather brick truck theory? One person at the back there. Scott Harris, you may have heard of Scott Harris. He's an Aussie and he works for Tony Robbins. And he talks about this theory. So if you are getting a persistent negative voice in your head, you may want to listen to it. And the reason is this. It could be the universe just giving you a little nudge, giving you a little tickle that something isn't quite right about what you're doing, and that would be the feather. So the feather's giving you a little tickle to take notice because something's not quite right with what you're doing. It could be your health, it could be your relationships, it could be your money, it could be all sorts of things, but it's giving you a little tickle to say, watch out. If we ignore the feather, then we get hit by a brick. And that's the universe saying, you ignored the feather, so I've got to give you a bigger message, and I'm going to wrap it up in a brick. Now, most sensible people would probably listen to the brick, wouldn't they? If you're getting hit around the head with a brick, you'd probably take notice. But actually, in reality, we're still thinking, well, what's this thing hitting me? Oh, I'll just keep going. And that's when we get hit by the truck. Now, trucks can be useful. As long as you can peel yourself up off the road, trucks can be useful. Because what a truck teaches us is one major lesson. And when you get run over by a truck, you haven't really got much choice, have you, but to take notice. So my divorce in 2001 was a truck for me. I was an investment banker, miserable as hell, totally unhappy, divorce, run over by a great big truck. And I wouldn't be where I am today, actually. I wouldn't be speaking on this stage if it hadn't been for that truck. But what I'm saying is, it's much easier to take notice of the feathers and the bricks. Because if you keep on getting run over by a truck, at some point you won't be able to peel yourself off the road. Does that make sense? Say yes. Okay, feather brick truck. Useful? If there's a negative voice that's still persisting in your head, and to be honest, it's just annoying now. I've done all my feather brick truck stuff, got all that sorted out, but it's just still there. What can you do? Replace it. Great stuff. Right, so how do we replace that voice? Well, first of all, we need to know where it is. So we've all got this little voice. We could ping it. Yeah, I love it. Guy there saying ping it. Absolutely. We need to find out where it is in our head. Most people it's going to be at the front of the head, saying whatever it says, you're useless, people are falling asleep after lunch because you're really, really boring them to death, for example. But you need to find out where that voice is for you. So next time you catch yourself saying something negative, before you ping, think about where that is in your head. Whereabouts is it? Mine's in the front. So I pinpoint it. I then move it to the back of my head. And I get to say exactly the same thing but in a silly voice. So I might go, oh, it's after lunch, everyone's falling asleep because you're really boring. Or I go fast. Falling asleep, they're really boring. Or am I doing Mickey Mouse? Oh, they're falling asleep, they're really boring. I've changed it, and by changing it, I've taken away its power. I've scrambled it. In its place, so I replace it, I put something much more positive. And every morning I say positive things to me like, I'm healthy, wealthy, and wise. All I need is within me now. A useful one for the internet is miracles happen every day, and every day they flow my way. So move the voice, scramble it, put a better one in its place. Make sense, yeah? So we put in a better one. The reason we need to do this, we need to interrupt this negativity, is because it's like climbing the mountain with a rucksack full of rocks. Now, unless you're a complete and utter masochist, I don't think you want to climb a mountain with a rucksack full of rocks, do you? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Thank you.